is such a familiar word, a word that despite all acts to abolish it still lives among our nation. The definition of equality is as stated on the slide, the quality of being unequal or uneven, such as social disparity, disparity of distribution or opportunity, lack of evenness, and the condition of being variable change. Now, today I'll be speaking on behalf of the inequality that is presented in the women's sport industry. The world of sport remains plagued by many of the same gender inequalities that we see more broadly, issues such as unequal pay. This is the women's fight for equality in the industry of sports, and my name is Natalie Napoles. The claim that is presented is as seen on the slide. In the past decades, men have received a higher pay wage in sports compared to women due to the factors such as the overall lack of encouragement in women's sports, discrimination, and the false political standpoint. Now, let's deep digger into a factor that has the word inequality bolded in big words. As you can see, this is the FIFA's 2015 Women's World Cup Stadium, and it seems pretty normal, except the grass is the big inequality. Women are playing in turf instead of real grass like men do, leaving them with nasty scarred burns. Harwell states, critics have slammed the tournament from the start for its strange disparity between men's and women's play. While male World Cup players ran across fields of grass, women's team played on artificial turf, leaving them scarred with nasty burns, as you can see. Now, think to yourself, what is the reason that this is happening? What is a reasonable way that the FIFA administration gives their women turf grass as opposed to real grass? The reason for the turf grass. The artificial turf is a metaphor, a very visible and inescapable reminder in many ways in which the institutional forces continue to hold back the development of the women's game, quite literally impacting its most brilliant and inspiring players. That's great. It's a metaphor to why this is happening. That's a good reason. So the Canada Soccer Association and FIFA are so obsessed with artificial turf is unclear, but we know why they thought they could get away with disrespecting the world's best female players, because it is a women's World Cup and not the men's. That's sex discrimination, and it is illegal under the Canadian law. Now let's take a look at this chart right here that shows the women's and men's games and how much they get paid. These are all friendly matches, and if you lose all 20, men get paid $100,000 and women get paid $72,000. Win 10 games, men get paid $181,000 and women get paid $85,000. Win all 20 games and men get paid $263,000 compared to women who only get paid $99,000. And men get paid by bonuses instead of salaries that like women do, and women get this much of a bonus compared to men. Now, let's think of a solution to this. Women need to be paid as equally as men for the same generated revenue. So it sounds like women need to play bigger games and win them, just like men do, so it can create more excitement and people can come watch them more. Now the limitation to this would be people believe that men are simply more entertaining and so leading to a higher revenue, which means a higher pay wage. Yet the women's soccer team won the last World Cup and the one before that. Is that not high enough revenue to cause a higher pay wage in women? Seems not. Here in this picture by the World Economic Forum, you can see that the U.S. men's team, for losing the first round of the World Cup, got paid $8 million, $8 million. And the U.S. women's team got paid $2 million, $6 million more for losing in the first round. Now here's the solution that the FIFA president daughter opinion in 2004. Let the women play in more feminine clothes like they do in volleyball. They could, example, have tighter shorts. This is what the society has for women's standards. They say that they should be caregivers, cookers, cleaners, and take care of children instead of doing the same thing that men do. If a woman can play and win 2 national titles within 8 years and a man hasn't done that while the game has existed, shouldn't women be paid equally, and shouldn't they be held to the same standard as men? Taking action. Revenue, one of the captains and her teammates swept through the tournament while suing their own country's soccer federation over gender discrimination. Now here's Trump's answer to this. No one in the team wanted to go to the White House after winning the World Cup. They knew confidently that they would win, yet Trump tweeted, blah, 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 just win it already. And he said, invited Meghan or the team, but I am now inviting the team. Win or lose, Meghan should never disrespect our country, the White House, or our flag. Isn't it in their right to disrespect the country or the White House or, so say, the flag for not paying them as equally as enough? $6 million they didn't get paid enough for winning as opposed to losing. The fight for equality. For almost 30 years now, the U.S. women have been the best in the world, the team every country aspires to have, and for more than 20 of those years, the Americans have been fighting their own federation for equal treatment. This is a fight that women have been fighting for a while now, and it is not about just getting paid. It's about getting that attention. It's about getting the equalness that they deserve. Men don't fight for this stuff like women do. What winning means? Equal pay. And here are my citations. Thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
I do have 2 questions. First question, how valid and reliable were the sources that you used, and then how do you know so?
The sources that I used were all from the federations from the World Cup that they provided stated, and also they were from interviews and tweets that Trump posted himself, so it was all valuable that they said it themselves and from first sources.
Okay, and if you had more time, what additional research would you conduct on this particular issue?
I would conduct on why men get particularly more bonuses and where does that money generate from, because as you can see that women won the last 2 World Cups and the men didn't, so where did all this high revenue that women got, where did it go if men just got paid more? If women generated more money, why didn't they get that money as opposed to a man who didn't get that money?